So is it just me, or does this music make you want to just do this? Right? So in 2014, Pharrell Williams, he produced this song, and it's called Happy. Now the band, they sang it earlier, but I don't think I heard you guys sing with them, so I'm going to ask for you to sing with me. I'll take the top, and then you'll take the bottom. So your part is, because I'm happy, okay? So clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you know that happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, hey, hey. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do, because I'm happy. You see, happiness is a journey. It's not a destination. But at some point in our life, we've grown to believe that our happiness lies within one particular moment. We've grown to believe that when we have no more college debt, then we'll finally be happy. We've grown to believe that when we get married, or even when we get divorced, that we'll finally be happy. We've gone to believe that when X, Y, or A, B, and C happen, then our happiness will finally happen. But I've come to bring you some unorthodox thinking to help you understand that happiness is this continuous process of our constant state of becoming. We are constantly becoming husbands and wives, mothers and fathers, college students, grandparents, and so forth. But if we say, I'd be happy when, then we're actually limiting our happiness. You see, there's no one size fits all for happiness, but rather what makes you happy and what makes you happy might not make me happy. But we have to understand that happiness is cultivated and it's created within, and that it has absolutely nothing to do with anything that's tangible or anything that we could purchase, because those things will lose its value. If we begin to place our happiness into people, then when those people leave, guess what happens? So goes our happiness. If we place our happiness into a car, a job, a certain social status, then when that no longer brings the same value, then so goes our happiness. If you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. When I was 15 years old, I wanted nothing more than to turn 16. See, what you don't know is that I couldn't have a boyfriend until I was 16. I couldn't drive until I was 16. I couldn't get a job until I was 16. So I said when I was 15 that when I turn 16, I'm going to give me a Monte Carlo or a Mustang. I'm going to get that fine boy that sat in the front row in third period, and I'm going to have the job that I want and make whatever amount of money that I want. I turned 16, y'all. I got a 93 Cadillac Fleetwood that had mirror tint windows that had a terrible overheating problem. The boy in third period did not like me, and I got a job at Taco Bell making $7.25. I had to wear a hat, couldn't have my hair the way I wanted, and I could not get my nails done. So I'm pageant queen, right? So I said, okay, Jesus, maybe it's not 16, it's got to be 18, because everybody that's 18 and older appears to be happy. So I turned 18, I went off to college, and depression set in, stress set in, financial aid set in, and another boy that I liked did not like me set in as well. So I said, where is this happiness that I chased after ever since I was 15 years old? I said, I know what it is. In college, everybody that graduates and gets their degree finally is happy, right? Oh my goodness, I can't wait till I get my diploma. That's what we say. I graduated with my bachelor's degree, and I said, I'm going to be the best radio personality. I'm going to go on CNN. I found myself teaching snotty-nosed kids. It was just like an epic failure, like this thing that I was chasing called happiness still was not there. I found myself driving home one day so depressed and sad, crying, praying and asking God to reveal to me the secrets to happiness. And he said to me, my child, you are chasing after things that have no value, that the happiness that you are looking for lies within you. Why want something to bring you happiness when you can bring it happiness? Why wait for something to come to you when you can walk this earth bringing happiness with you? So I said, okay, it has nothing to do with materialistic things. It has nothing to do with a guy. It has nothing to do with a job. So what is it? And he said, it lies within. It's when you line up your mind, your will, and your emotions with what I want for you and what I have for you. So I said, okay. Thank you for asking me, how do I get there? This is the good crowd, so I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can create the happiness that you want. The first thing that you have to do is accept what was. In life, we make many mistakes. But if we continue to beat ourselves up about the things that we've done, then we'll never get anywhere. You have to accept You have to accept maybe the family that you were born into. You see, I had to accept the fact that maybe I was going to have the body the size of a 5th grade-year-old boy for the rest of my life. And that maybe my bra size may never exceed a B cup and I would never have a big butt. I had to accept the fact that for the rest of my life, I was going to be an African-American female and that maybe in some rooms I may make some people uncomfortable. But I had to accept those things. After accepting what was, you have to be grateful for what is. You see, I have a 600 square foot apartment and a 2010 Impala that could not get me here, but I take care of it as if it is a 2018 BMW and that I have a condo at home. I scrub them floors as if it's mine. After being grateful for what is, you have to look forward for what's ahead. In life, there are so many great things that are set aside for you. So I learned to wake up and say that I have a purpose on my life. Somebody is depending on me to inhale and exhale today. Someone is depending on me to encourage them. Someone is depending on me to make them happy. Someone is depending on me to make a difference in this world. So each and every day, although all days are not perfect, I have to wake up and tell myself that I have a purpose. You see, we have to stop allowing others dictate our happiness. People don't like your hair, who cares? People don't like the job that you have, who cares? People don't want to ride with you because they don't like the music that you listen to, or maybe your car got a rattle like mine, who cares? But we have to stop allowing others to dictate our happiness for us. Because if we place our happiness in people, as stated before, when they leave, guess what happens? Your happiness goes with them. One of my favorite books in the Bible was Proverbs. So Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22 says, being cheerful or happy keeps you healthy. I believe Lindsay said it earlier, creating happiness creates healthiness. But it is a slow death to be gloomy all the time. Has anybody ever been in a room with someone who's constantly sad and gloomy? They're slowly killing themselves. So in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19, it says, choose life and all of its blessings. Not only is happiness cultivated and created within you, but it's a choice. Something bad can happen to you or something unfortunate can occur in your life, but you have the option to choose to be happy or to choose to be sad. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that clothes, cars, and money and men and women can't bring us happiness, but why not have happiness before those things come? Don't wait for those things to come to make you happy. Rather, create the happiness for yourself, and then when it comes, it's going to add more happiness to you. This guy here, Nick, he's a motivational speaker, and he was born with just a torso. You see this little foot that he has here? He called it his nugget. And he's so proud of his nugget, but he goes around the world and he speaks to people like you and I, and he encouraged them. You see, Nick accepted what was. He accepted the fact that he was born with just a torso. He was grateful that he did not lose his life, but he looked forward that he could go across the globe and encourage so many people. Inky Johnson was a football player at Tennessee State. One game, he had a terrible accident, and now he can no longer play football at all. He doesn't have any movement in his arm. And Inky, he accepted what was. He accepted the fact that after his injury, no one would ever want him to play for their team. But he was grateful that he was able to live, and he too is one of the highest paid inspirational speakers there are. Last but certainly not least, one of my favorite, Dr. Eric Thomas. He goes across the world and he tells a story of how he was a high school dropout and how after he got his GED, it took him 12 years to get his bachelor's degree. See, many of us are upset about 5 and 6. It took him 12 years to get his bachelor's degree, but one thing he always states is that on his diploma there is not a date. On his diploma, it doesn't say how many years it took him to get it. But it took him 12 years to get it. He's got his PhD, and now he also goes across the world inspiring people like you and I. You see, these three great men, they understood that happiness did not lie within the people that they surrounded themselves with, but it lied within themselves. It lied within the heart. Dr. Seuss says, "Today you are you, that is truer than true. No one alive is youer than you." So you can bring the happiness with you. You can bring the happiness into your job. You can bring the happiness into your marriage. Your children may be bothering you and getting on your nerves, and maybe you're saying, "I can't wait until they get out this house." But you can bring that happiness back into the house with your children. Children, you can bring that happiness into the home with your mom and with your dad and with your grandparents. Don't wait until you graduate. Don't wait until you get that job. Don't wait until you get married. Don't wait until that debt is canceled. I want my debt to be canceled, but I'm not going to wait until it's canceled before I'm happy. I am a national reigning pageant queen, and it took me 3 years to get a crown. But throughout those 3 years, I found happiness along the way. I still don't have that boy from 3rd grade. I'm a state employee, so we don't make much, but I'm grateful for that as well. And I still don't have the car that I want, but I promise you I'll walk this earth as if I bring happiness with me everywhere I go. And you can do the same thing as well. Happiness is a journey. It is not a destination. Happiness is not about having the things in life that you want, but ultimately, it's about wanting the things in life that you have. I am Angel Samone. Thank you so much for listening to my talk. God bless you.